Inravio.com.
Every time the beat drop.
Hey everybody, it is Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you are watching Save and Continue, and we are coming to you live from the lovely Inravio studios in the fantastic state of New York. My name is Kyle, and joined by me, as always, Mr. Frankie Justino, and we're here to fill you in on all the gaming, tech, internet good stuff that has happened in the past week. And there's been some particularly funny stories this week. I shouldn't say funny, because a lot of people have suffered, but funny to me, as it hasn't affected me. But we'll get to that. We got lots to talk about. Some VR stuff, some Far Cry stuff, some Division stuff, some new Fallout stuff, a bunch of stuff, some good, some bad, but we'll get all to that. We'll start like we normally do. Is there anything that has caught your attention or you're currently playing that's new? I am very excited. I'm playing something new, but we'll get to you first. Anything you've been watching on YouTube, Twitch, any new titles that your cousins picked up that you've inadvertently had access to?
There was something specifically that is for whatever reason, I am losing grasp on it. So it will pop up again, but...
Let's all go first, then you want to think about it?
Yeah,
okay.
We'll do it.
This isn't a new game, but it's one of the biggest updates ever. So Minecraft had its 1.9 update, and it's... we'll get to it. Minecraft had its 1.9 update, which was massive. They labeled it its combat update, and I'm going to pull up the specific list of it right now, but I got a chance to play a bit of it this morning, and tonight I'll be hopping on to our personal server with Nolan and John to get like some heavy digging in. But there's been a lot of smaller things. It's funny, when I brought the update up to Nolan, he's like, I'm reading about it right now, and of course he pointed out all the minuscule, tiny, detailed things that only like obsessively creative Minecraft players would give a damn about, and I pointed out all the awesome things that were obvious. But just to go over a few of the main stuff, there's a method of restarting the Ender Dragon boss fight, which is great because normally when you start an adventure mode or a map, once you beat that dragon, it's over. But now it actually regenerates so that you can do this multiple times, which is great because there's no better way of getting experience points, which play a factor. Infinite generation of islands in the end, populated by chorus trees, end city structures, and end city ships. So now when you go to the Ender world, there's actually ships in the lava and stuff. Really cool. Probably the biggest thing, one of the biggest things, dual wielding. So now you actually have access to hold two things at once, including an offhand mode. So basically you have like, your right hand is your dominant hand, and you can put less important items in your less dominant hand. I think it serves as a faster way of switching items. I'm not 100%, but you can actually, there's like an extra crafting block or item block off to the left on its own. It's very interesting. I haven't gotten too deep into it, but 14 new types of tipped arrow, which adds like poison effect and all these basically effects to the arrows. The inclusion of the Elytra, which is basically this cape that now allows players to glide when equipped. So you can basically like wingsuit fly, which is, I downloaded mods just trying to do this years ago, so it's super awesome. The videos that have come out so far have been nothing short of amazing, like people building, it reminded me of like the Harry Potter Quidditch game for original Xbox, where you had to like fly through the rings and stuff. I know they didn't invent that, obviously, but that's what sticks out most in my head. God, that was such a good game. You ever play that? The Harry Potter Quidditch game? That might be my favorite sports game of all time. That's sad to say. But they added subtitles, igloo structures, skeleton traps, 5 new splashes, new particles, 2 new enchantments, including Frostwalker and Mending, and a bunch of other things, a couple new blocks. But it's really cool, really big update. It's awesome. It's really awesome.
Now, is this something that the modding community has never done before?
No, for the most part, all these things could be more or less obtainable with the right collection of mods, but how easy is that process? That's another thing to say. Like what ones are compatible with each other. I've personally tried to install mods on Mac. I know it's a huge headache. So modding in itself is tricky. But especially if you're playing multiplayer with servers, because you have to get certain modded servers, where this replaces a lot of the things that people wanted anyway. So kind of that's, I feel like more or less is what my Mojang exists for now, is kind of just checking out what awesome mods have been made and then making those vanilla, or like adding those as default. But yeah, so I've been playing a bunch of that. It's been amazing. I'm sure every Minecraft player has been sinking their teeth into it. But what about you? What have you remembered? You remembered something?
I'm not playing anything really new or too interesting right now. I'm getting really like a little update on the map. I had to take a big break from it because it was becoming a little bit of a headache. And now that I'm closer to my object limit, because I got a good chunk of it done since I was last talking about it, I don't think I'm going to be able to build as much as I initially thought. So, it's not going to be as big as I intended to, which is it's a little bittersweet for me because I wanted to fit everything that I wanted to fit. Kind of, you know, jumps the gun a little bit there, but I think I still can make it a manageable, you know, playable map, even better than what I had last time. However, I'm like, I think at this point I just want to finish it just because I put so much time into it already. Like I'm almost ready to quit it.
It's one of those processes where investing more time into it could hurt it more than it could help it. At least that's a lot of my process. Like when I'm doing something is if I spend and this is all like, you know, through perspective, but if I spend what I judge as too much time on something, that's when I cut it off because I go, you know what, I've been staring at this too long, like sometimes less is more, and those are different projects, but that's how I see it. So that's why I personally would stop where it's just like, you know what, at some point, there's not going to be anything more I can do to it. There's only I can do less to it.
There's definitely more I could do to it. It is unfinished in every sense of the word, but I just feel that maybe because I'm not able to fit in as much as I originally planned, that it's kind of discouraging to me. But I'm gonna finish it. There's some headaches there. There's some issues with Forge's lighting. I don't know if it's a new issue because I didn't have this issue when Forge first came out, so I don't know if this is a post-patch issue. The lighting gets really blocking, and the lighting is the most important thing about the map because it is all inside. And if the lighting is off and I can't fix the lighting, I really don't see the point of having the map.
Okay, well, I mean, I've seen what you've made so far, and to not release what even what you've done now would just, I'm not saying it'd make it to the top of the charts, but it would just be a waste not to put it on.
No, it would get a lot of attention.
Because I'm sure
still,
even with the lack of additions that you've yet to make that you want to make, even that would still be in like the top, like even if top 15.
I'm not giving up on it, but you know, I'm just saying it's right now it's a bit of a painful process, but it's close to done. I can't see it taking too much longer as far as what I actually need to do if I'm not procrastinating. So, but what I wanted to bring up, aside from that, because that's actual playing, I'm just playing Halo right now. I'm not really playing anything else. The Witcher 3 I finally wanted to jump into, haven't done that. I might get back into Fallout 4 this week with the patch that's coming out with the Survivor mode.
Oh yeah, where are the mods? Where are the mods?
I don't know.
I was the other day, I was watching the Fallout 4 stream on Twitch, and I was like, I'm sitting there, I'm like, this is great. Wait, weren't there supposed to be mods?
It's like everybody forgot that there were supposed to be mods.
People didn't forget, because like, unless you actually go out and Google like the mods, you'll see where everyone's like, where the hell are the mods? But like, I completely, admittedly forgotten about that.
Hey, you know, I don't.
It's such a huge selling point to me.
I know, it's pretty big news that's not being.
Yeah,
you know,
that's a pretty big thing to be like, this is going to be included and to not happen.
We can talk a bit about Fallout 4's DLC that was announced, which I think is pretty interesting. But besides that, so I watch YouTube videos here and there of you know, my favorite subscribers, and the people that I'm subscribed to, and one of them, Shofu, who is he's a big Smash player. He also is big into Pokemon. I really watch him mainly for Smash, but I know of his history in, you know, the Pokemon games, how he plays them and whatnot. And Pokken, which is the
that's very interesting.
yes, which is the fighting Pokemon game, pretty much.
People have been labeling it Pokemon meets Tekken, which isn't.
It's not entirely accurate because
it's wrong.
No,
but
it doesn't
you
seem.
could find a better way to describe it.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like, and I'm a very.
People are stretching for that.
I am a casual fighting game player. I am by no means good.
I hate them.
Yeah, I actually love them, and I wish I was better at them, and I think I could be better at them if I put the time into it. But from what I see, I was watching some of the footage that he was posting up on his feed, and it's not too often that I see a fighting game and I'm like, wow, I actually think I could try this out and possibly, you know, get better at it if I got into it, because it seems like a game I could get into. But I'm super impressed with what Nintendo has done with this game, or Namco, or whoever the hell is making it. It looks gorgeous. It plays so fluidly, and it seems like it's actually pretty technical, you know, considering it's a Pokemon fighting game.
Yeah,
So
I think that's the big thing is people kind of, at least I would expect this kind of a Pokemon style fighting game to be a little more technical, just because to reminisce.
Well,
like,
that's where the Tekken part would come in.
Yes,
you
that's
know,
what I'm saying. Tekken was always
yeah.
a much more
technical
I
fighting
feel like
game.
there was a much more in-depth technical fighting
Right,
game
yeah,
compared to
so-
something like Mortal Kombat, which seems a little more not watered down, but less intricate.
It's just,
I feel.
it really shows what a next-gen Pokemon game could do.
Yes.
I mean, it is beautiful.
People
it's
want
great.
it. People want
It's
Pokemon
great, yes.
so badly.
And it's great to look
Still
at.
waiting for Pokemon Go.
Yeah, I know, right?
I know, God.
The,
that's
I'm
gonna be
not
amazing.
going to get it, but
They're
it'll
actually
be
field testing that beta in Japan very soon.
Oh, yeah?
Which I'm super jealous.
pretty
about.
cool. Even the roster in Pokken.
Is it Pokken? Is it
Pokken.
Pokken? Is
It's
it Pokken?
I think
I
it's
imagine
Pokken,
it's
like
Pokken.
Pokemon. Yeah,
But I
Pokken.
feel like some guy at some convention is
Pokken.
going to be like, oh,
No,
it's Pokken, you stupid son of a...
It's definitely Pokken, because you're not saying
Pokken.
Pokemon.
Pocket
you know?
monsters, you know.
Yeah, but
Pokemon.
It's cool.
That's my favorite.
It's,
Pokemon.
it's cool. No, Pokeno is what my grandma.
And it's any adult with a child, any kid that had a parent and then grew up with Pokemon heard that at least twice. Hey, is that a Pokemon?
No, Pokeno is the worst, because apparently
Pokeno?
Pokeno's a game. Apparently, it's an old game.
I've never heard of that.
It's an old. No, my grandma used to call
You're
it
not referring to
Pokeno.
that as Pokemon.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was saying no.
Pokemon, I can
no,
see.
Nana, it's Pokemon. It's not Pokeno. And she's like, oh, it was a game. So that's where I heard that from. But anyway, it seems like a very interesting game. I mean, I definitely wanted to play it just from looking at it.
Curious to see where it goes. Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what the competitive scene's going to develop into.
It
Because
looks competitive.
That's what I mean.
It looks technical.
Because competitive, like I keep up on esports as best I can, and a lot of that is tricky because unless you know the game, it's incredibly difficult to follow it. Like League of Legends or something, you have to actually like know what's happening to comprehend to actually follow it. But I feel like fighting games have always been in that unique position where anyone can enjoy it, even if they don't understand it, just because it's such a visually based thing. League of Legends, you can watch 10 minutes and people will start cheering like maniacs over something that you have no idea what happened. But a game like Pokken, with that being that visually pleasing and being that, not simple, but you see the actual fighting motions, like it's just a physical, it's a street fight.
It was a super satisfying game to watch.
Yes.
It was visually pleasing.
That's what I mean, and that could make it huge
I
for
knew,
esports.
yes, I knew when something crazy happened.
Is
like,
it easier to follow than Super Smash Bros, would you say? Like, could you comprehend like what motions were being made? Were you able to follow what was happening on the screen better than Smash? Because Smash, while fantastic, it can get very like, you know, giant smoke pile and hands and fists coming out of it. You don't know what's happening, sort of.
I disagree with that. I personally don't find Smash that hard to follow.
That's my point of if you were an avid Smash player. Pick someone off of the street who's like who's very casual and does not see it. Someone like me, I don't play Smash a lot, and when I watch like someone who's pro status, like on Twitch or something at an event, there are times when they're going so fast that I don't care who you are. You need to know what you're looking at in Smash.
Pokken reminded me of watching like Marvel vs. Capcom.
Like wave dashing and stuff. No one off the street's gonna know what that means.
Well, Pokken reminded me of Marvel vs. Capcom as far as how I was viewing it, and it was very flashy, yet you knew when somebody was getting absolutely destroyed, and you knew when somebody was turning the tides.
Yes.
So,
Urash, thank you for the kind words, man, in the chat. He said, how is nobody watching this? This is a real gaming talk show.
Oh, wow.
This is real, bro. Real. Anyway. Oh, I hope he doesn't follow, because I'm missing the buzzer.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
keep
okay.
talking. I gotta find it.
Yeah, he's gonna find the buzzer. So, yeah, I want to actually get this game. I want to give it a shot. I don't know who the hell would play with me that I personally know, but I highly recommend if anyone out there has not seen Pokken, check it out because it looks like it could be something really unique as far as a Pokemon game goes, but also the fighting game.
Fighting game, Pokemon game. It's definitely one of the more exciting Pokemon games.
Yeah, I mean,
it's by far the most unique.
Yeah, and few games have caught my attention like that now. So that's really what I've been watching new. And other than that, really nothing too different. I have not continued Dying Light the following because my buddy who I was playing with has been MIA, and I only know him online. So I don't know where he's been in a week, so I've only really been playing co-op with him. So I'm kind of going to wait a bit longer.
It's a very co-op-based game.
Yeah, I mean, I can play it alone too, but you know. There was one other thing I want to bring. Yeah, and I've been getting bit by the Mass Effect bug lately again. Like
I was going to bring that up because Mass Effect Andromeda was delayed.
It was delayed, which is okay.
I don't have a problem with that. I'm disappointed because I could really use some Mass Effect in my life, but. Admittedly, I don't. Do you know anything about this game? Because I know zip besides the fact that it does not feature Commander Shepard.
All we know about Mass Effect Andromeda, as far as I know, so you guys might know more than me, but this is as far as I know is that it is going to take place in the future. It's going to take place after Mass Effect 3 in another galaxy.
Okay.
So the events of the Reapers coming have been gone and went
until the next cycle.
Until the next cycle, no, they were destroyed, depending on the ending. Yeah.
Does anyone know what the hell happened at the end of Mass Effect 3, dude?
I do.
Like, really?
I totally do.
I was so confused.
The ending made sense, it just wasn't necessarily satisfying.
It was executed so...
it made sense.
It did make sense, but... to that much effort put into trying to understand that of just like, no, see, when you do blue, that's the opposite, and that was actually red, and then every time I brought it up, someone else went, no, that's not correct. Overly complicated.
It brings me back to the whole TJ.
Thank you for the follow, Iru Ash. I'm sorry, I have butchered the last 5 people that have followed this channel. I'm so sorry. Iru Ash. He says, well, know what I mean by that. It is not some random guy playing a game. Never heard of Pokin, however it is spelled.
I can't hear you mumbling, Kyle, because something.
I'm trying to. He worded this very interestingly. I'm trying to. Well, no, what I mean by that is it's not some random guy playing a game yet. Oh, he's talking about how good the show is, and it's not random. Thank you, we appreciate it. We try to keep it structured to the best of our ability. Yeah, Pokin, he's interested, but he's never.
If I'm going to talk about video games for an hour, I'm going to talk about every little detail.
It's P-O-K-K-E until I have to move him on because there's got to be some kind of structure.
Yeah.
But what were you saying? You were
Mass Effect.
Mass Effect, Andromeda. Delayed 2017, that sucks. I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, it's holiday. No, I'm sorry, it's very early 2017.
All we really know
is... It was supposed to be late 2016, correct?
Yes. Fourth quarter, I'm sure.
It was fourth quarter.
So,
it's weird because EA has a bizarre, like their fourth quarter is their first quarter with everyone else. It's super complicated. Anyway.
I have no idea.
It's stupid.
I don't know. But yeah, that's all we really know is the setting, some details on the setting. We don't really know what it's going to be like as far as story or gameplay wise. They might follow the trend of maybe being like a mini MMO, which is something that...
Let's talk about that, actually.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
I've been wanting to get to this story because it's my favorite.
Okay.
So The Division has officially launched. It had a big opening weekend. It was actually, if I'm not mistaken, Ubisoft's biggest opening for a game. But that does not mean it was not marred by some difficulties and some kind of incidences.
Server issues.
Well, here's the issue. This is why it's so funny, but people suffered to make it happen. I believe we have. Oh crap! I don't think I have the actual photo, unless Eric's a genius and he got it. We'll have to pull it up then. Literally what happened was to initiate the game, your character basically walks into the Division base and has to walk up to a laptop that officially activates your character. That basically signs you up. I guess they want the feeling of after you customize your character, you walk into the base, you walk up to the AI guy behind the desk, and it's like, it's time to save New York. And you sign up at the laptop, you hold F to pay your respects.
Press X to pay respects.
Press X to pay respects. Well, it's F on the keyboard for this. But basically what happened is people on the first day launch obviously hopped on. There's dozens upon dozens of people, no matter what server you were on, in that room, all trying to log into this laptop at once. And apparently so many people trying to do that at once obviously kind of broke the server, and people found themselves continually hitting F trying to register with the laptop. So particularly, I don't think we had the picture. I'll pull it up out of the commercial. But what happened particularly was a picture posted on Reddit, and basically a few players in this room thought, hey, maybe it's because we're all trying at once. So there's this picture that popped up online, and the players literally took it upon themselves to form a queue. They got in line. So there's a picture online of like 10 to 15 Division players literally lined up behind this laptop, behind the desk. It's arguably one of the most organized moments by players in the history of gaming that I've ever seen. It was hysterical. I'm gonna have to pull up the picture. It's the one, I know I was forgetting something today, but it's just exactly as funny as it sounds. Like 10 to 15 people just lined up, like patiently waiting their turn They're virtually waiting in a line so they can virtually hit a laptop so they can start to play the game.
Did it work?
No. For anyone still having issues, you have to basically log out and log back in seems to be the issue. It's a very reminiscent to GTA 5's launch.
When are they going to learn? I mean, listen, I don't know all the ins and outs and the technical jargon when it comes to launching a AAA title, but I mean, come on, I feel like this is all the time.
Hiro actually agrees with you. He said it's the Division is the biggest letdown of a game he's played since Alien Colonial Marines. Damn!
Oh, that's bad.
That is mean.
That's really bad.
That was a bad game.
That was like a turning point for gaming.
I agree, because I played the beta and it was kind of wish-washy to me, but oh my goodness, all right, well.
Yeah.
You know what's even funnier beyond that? Another issue that happened is that players are griefing other players by going into the base and doing jumping jacks in doorways, literally blocking players from exiting the building. So people can't exit it because guys are standing in the doorway.
No, you should be able to go through.
No, you can't.
Oh.
But apparently you have to break the physics system by running into the character for at least like 5 minutes, and then eventually it will let you pass.
Oh, that's
There's videos of kids just doing jumping jacks with their characters in the doorway, blocking 10 to 15 people trying to get out to play the game. It's just...
Could you imagine
sad,
that?
But
you're returning your copy of The Division to GameStop, and you're like, oh, what's your reason for returning? A dude was doing jumping jacks.
It's like that South Park World of
play.
Warcraft episode.
Yeah.
Where everyone got angry because the guy kept killing everybody in World of Warcraft. It's the same
even though that would
thing.
never happen, but
no, but
that'd
I mean,
be amazing.
Is this not like kind of the same, more or less situation?
Yeah, no,
like
it
the
is.
same amount of grief?
Yeah, The Division. I mean, we talked about
such a unique circumstance.
We talked about The Division a bit earlier because I played both the alpha and the beta, and
I played just the beta.
Pretty quickly. I keep in mind I had this game pre-ordered, the Gold Edition. I dropped $100 on it for the season pass, everything. And while I didn't hate the game, I have my gut was telling me that it wasn't really going to be able to offer much more than what we were getting in this small demo. More of the same. So I think I made the right decision from what I'm hearing from other people. I'm not going to lie, I haven't looked into many reviews, both users and professional reviews about the game, but the couple of things I did here and there were more negative than anything.
Yeah, again, from what I've been hearing, it's not, I wouldn't want to say negative, it's just disappointment. It's not a bad
superficial.
game, it's just not a full game.
No, not even that it's not a full game. I think it's just the same shoe stuff over and over again.
Good save! Oh, Eric, our producer, is very impressed by that one.
Thank you.
It didn't make any sense, but I appreciate the effort.
Yeah.
But no, I feel it's shockingly similar to Destiny to me in the fact that I think this game, after it releases 3 or 4 DLC content packs, it's going to feel like how the game should have been upon release. Much like how Destiny, pretty much the universal agreement is that Destiny the Taken King is how Destiny should have been per its release. I feel like this is a very similar scenario in Division where there's not enough to do, but after a couple of DLC add-on packs where they give you a variation in enemies and they open up Brooklyn or Williamsburg.
Well, I'm not saying that the Division has a lack of content or there's not enough to do. I mean,
feel this that way. That's what I felt.
That's not my place to say because I haven't played the full game. As for beta,
that's what some of the reviews seem to be as well.
Well, if the reviews are saying it, then
I played just the beta. That's
well. Hold on. What I'm trying to say here is that it's the repetition that would turn me off from that game. I don't care if you give me 50, 70, 100 hours of gameplay. If it's repetitious and I feel like I'm doing the same grind over and over again, and I get so powerful that I can't even. Other players can't even compete. It seems like just a snooze fest.
So there's not enough to do. That's what it sounds like you're
saying.
No,
not enough to do. No, just monotony. Like a lot of the same. A lot of the same.
If you're doing the same mission,
you could have a lot to do of the same crap.
I would ask for more things to do.
But that's not always possible within a certain game structure.
All right, so what would you do to fix it? As far as to get you to play this game right now, to play Destiny? What
would I do to fix it?
What would they do to make this a playable
this
game?
is if what I'm saying is true, and this is speculation because I haven't played the full game, just the beta. If the game was really just more of the same as we got in the beta. I don't really know how much more you can do because it's more of like a design thing at that point. Almost like when a game structurally just kind of pigeonholes it into a corner, pigeonholes itself into a corner of its own design where you really can't think too much outside the box without completely breaking the game. I don't know if I'm making too much sense.
I get what you're saying.
But almost, let me put it this way. The Division seems like it is what it is now, and there's not really too much they could do to break the formula because the game already wasn't really too different from other games we played. You know what I mean? Like, it's unique for an Ubisoft game. It's unique for a Tom Clancy game, but you know, I don't think, as me, who's definitely more of a hardcore RPG fan and shooter fan, I think it doesn't really hit the same notes that I was expecting it to.
Again, because I played Destiny and it gave me I'm sorry, I played Division. Of course, I'm going to mix it up. It's the same. It's Destiny in New York City. It's the same crap. My point is that I feel as though, hey, World Hunter, welcome back. Good to see you, buddy. I feel as though the Division could be workable. I feel like it's taken the wrong elements, though. Actually, Inunash just said it in the chat, and I 100% agree, is that and I've mentioned this before, that if it had taken more elements from DayZ, we would have a better experience right now. And what happens is, and that's what about the Division that kind of frustrates me the most. Thank you for hosting us, World Hunter. Is that it comes so close to the Division, to DayZ, and the fact that it's got one of the most unique player betrayal systems I've seen in the game so far, and it really hurts. Like when you go into the dark zone and you have all this equipment that you've collected that you have to get extracted, you call the helicopter, you wait your turn. There's like 5 to 10 players, and they're all like, you know, backing each other up right now, like working as a team. And then you have that one guy when the helicopter shows up that just turns around, catches everyone by surprise, and steals all their crap. Like that to me is how you make this game succeed. Is that Division? It is lacking content. It is lacking. It is very monotonous. So what do you do in those scenarios? So is DayZ. Why has DayZ succeeded, or why did it succeed? It's because it relies upon player interactions, player freedom, player interaction to have those moments where the fun is created by players. And that's not being lazy by a developer where it's just like, well, we're not going to make anything, we'll let the players do it. It's giving players those opportunities, like those chances to betray each other. And that's what's great. With DayZ, you could literally tie someone up and like have them and treat them like a dog basically in the game because they're so afraid of losing their equipment and gear. You need to have that like just brutal penalty for death, you know? I think that's the big thing here. The Division, to succeed, should have just followed the DayZ route and had it so that as soon as you die, that's it. You start ground one from the floor. But
you and I both know that there's a specific crowd for that kind of game.
Exactly. I feel like it's big enough for the Division to succeed. And I feel as though this is one of those problems that we've been talking about, is that it's these developers trying to please everybody.
Well,
that's why Battlefront didn't succeed in my eyes, is because they tried to pander to everyone at once. And you can't do that. I feel like there is a hardcore, big enough community that would have appreciated the Division to that level. Yeah. Not as much as it was now. Would it have sold better than it has? Debatable, you know, but will it last longer, and will it have succeeded and pleased more people? I think so.
I could just see, I could see, and I don't want to sound pretentious here, but I could see more casual gamers enjoying the Division more, I think, than anything.
I think that's what it is now. Yeah. I think that's exactly who it's for. Yeah. I think the Division is that pick up and play, much like, I hate to go back to it, but Battlefront. I think it's very much in that realm where it's like, is it fun if you play it for 10 hours every day? No, it gets old very quick. But if you're picking it up for 2 to 3 hours every other day, that's a whole nother experience.
But even still,
you're digesting it.
Battlefront, you could jump in alone. I can't see myself actually enjoying the Division alone.
Yeah.
You know?
I know, but Battlefront is much more matchmaking, whereas the Division is much more MMO based. I still had fun playing Destiny when I was by myself, but you're absolutely right. I enjoyed it 5 times as much when I was in my Fire team with my friends. But I feel like that's, I mean, to nitpick with that, that's any game, to my opinion. Yeah, multiplayer will always be funner if you know who you're playing.
And to get back to the topic of the mini MMO. That's kind of a genre.
It's so unique.
Yeah,
I feel like that's where we're heading. Like we kind of had this big sandbox RPG route.
We went open worlds. Which we're still in. We're still in open worlds. I mean, it's been actually announced, to segue a little bit, but the new Legend of Zelda coming out for Wii U.
Yeah, it's gonna be the most open one.
It's the most open game, but Nintendo's admitting that they're getting a lot of Western influence from Western RPGs in the new Legend of Zelda game. So probably like the Elder Scrolls.
Twilight Princess sucked.
Twilight Princess was...
It didn't suck. It was so boring.
Twilight Princess
I had no desire to beat it.
The game was overrated, in my opinion. And as for, if you guys don't already know, Twilight Princess just came out as a re-release for
HD,
the Wii U, which...
It looks great.
Yeah, I mean, it's a game I probably wouldn't mind playing again because my issue with Twilight Princess when it came out was that it was too easy.
My issue
and
was,
they added a hard
the
mode
25-minute tutorial
in the beginning,
where it's just like it takes like literally like a half hour to get into the
whatever.
game.
I mean it has Twilight Princess is a very slow start, but it wasn't slow enough to really make me just crap on the game.
Oh come on, dude! They were like, "This is a horse, Link," and it's like we know what a horse like.
I really liked the style of Twilight Princess, but with that said,
Wind Waker for life.
With what?
Wind Waker for life.
Oh, absolutely.
That is my favorite.
Well, Wind Waker, Majora's Mask are my two favorites.
I don't like
Not in that order. What?
I don't like a time limit. I love Majora's Mask, but I hated being on a time limit.
I
know you can go back in time, but still,
we've
you
get
my point.
But yeah, anyway, so the whole idea of a mini MMO, getting back to Mass Effect Andromeda, we see the Division obviously going down this route. Destiny went this route. It seems to me, just thinking on more of a corporate level, and how corporate, I guess how corporations think. They want to look at the trends. I wouldn't doubt if BioWare, being owned by EA at this point, will or has been designing the game to go down the route of the same games that we're talking about. The question is, would it work better than Destiny and The Division? Because I was watching a video about 4 things that we do not want Mass Effect Andromeda to do. And I forget all the points, but one of the points was acting as an MMO. And I really don't know how I feel about that, because I personally love the idea of a mini MMO. I just don't think it's necessarily been done right, because out of any game that feels like a mini MMO, I never really felt like I got what they were intending. What they were selling.
When you say the word mini MMO, what I hear is console MMO. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, sure.
Just so we're on the same page.
Sure.
Like more or less, that's what we're talking about. Destiny Division.
Console,
it's not an MMO, but it tricks you into thinking it's an MMO by giving you these
MMO elements. Yeah.
Yes,
So I'm curious to see what they're going to do with Andromeda, because again, just like you said you're thirsty for more Mass Effect. I am too.
So thirsty.
It's my favorite series. One of my favorite series. And
don't cut to a solo when I say something like that.
And I'm really excited to just hear more info out of it. But So, but how do you feel if they went kind of like a? Because I wouldn't mind if Andromeda did more of a co-op route. What if the game was like The Division or Destiny?
Well, first off, if Mass Effect Andromeda if it has zero like co-op element to it, I'm gonna be severely disappointed / shocked.
Well, no, it definitely will.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I think it will.
I have to almost assume.
I'll be shocked if they have nothing. Yeah.
So we can pretty much at this point assume that we're going to get some kind of co-op element.
Yeah.
That being said, based within the campaign too. That's
I mean Andromeda.
I want to play a Mass Effect campaign side by side with a friend.
I think it'd be fun to explore, because I mean it goes back to me saying how I always wanted to co-op Elder Scrolls or co-op Fallout.
It does seem prime for that mini MMO style thing of just like getting your Spectre squad together.
Absolutely.
And you just feel like badasses with
and it's a new galaxy. It's a new story. You know, you don't need to. You don't have to make it.
Crap. That would fit perfectly.
Yeah.
This could be the one. Not that
right. That's what I'm thinking.
In Division don't hold up like in some elements, but I feel like, because I don't want to say they haven't succeeded, because Destiny Taken King has definitely succeeded. The Division, as per its opening day, if you're looking at it monetarily, has succeeded. But I feel like Mass Effect Andromeda, if they went the mini MMO route, could be the first to not just succeed, but excel at that format.
The huge difference between those two games versus Andromeda is that Andromeda already has a foundation.
It's built for it.
Its narrative of the Mass Effect series is already ingrained into it, so they can easily make it so like, oh, you're these agents, out somewhere far into the future after Mass Effect 3 happened.
Bungie and Ubisoft created these whole new IPs to fit that whole like mini MMO experience, whereas Mass Effect has this universe pre-built that would. Again, it's like Mass Effect 2 was all squad based. Like you could basically, Mass Effect 2 could have been done in like a mini MMO-esque sense. And like, what's to say with the whole decision system? Obviously, that's a huge part of the Mass Effect original trilogy, at least. Like, what's to say that couldn't have some kind of giant universe or world effect that affects other players in Mass Effect? Like, why not combine this, make this Mass Effect Andromeda a combination of the Division, Destiny, and like screw it, Eve, where like player decisions and player actions have made massive changes in the Andromeda Andromeda. Like the Andromeda universe is massively different 2 years after its release because players have altered it.
I'm honestly, and am I setting myself up for disappointment thinking this way? Maybe, but
yes, absolutely.
But I really
combined with Eve. No
I
way.
think no, not. I don't mean it like that.
I'm setting myself up for disappointment. With that.
No, I mean in Andromeda. I expect it to be a game changer. It's been years since Mass Effect 3 has been released. Technology has, is as always advancing, and things are looking better. We're able to do more. So I'm excited to see what they're going to do with Andromeda, and I hope they just do it right because
I hope they keep the same tone.
I think they will.
I don't know if I can get any more specific than that, but Mass Effect had that really unique combination of action, adventure, drama, and comedy. And I know that sounds very overall and generic, but they did.
Oh, they nailed it. They nailed it.
They hit all of those points so equally.
The character development and the characters themselves in Mass Effect are some of the best, most likable, fleshed out characters I've ever witnessed in a game before.
Yes, 100%.
And
That's why I love it so
when
much.
Morden, I didn't want to. Well, I'm not. No spoilers, but.
Oh, come on. I think you're all right, man.
When certain things happen to certain characters, I cared. When your crew is partying before the end of Mass Effect 3 in your suite as a DLC extra, you cared. So it was what? What are you looking at right now?
Ash just sent us a picture of one of the lines from The Division. I can't show it on screen right now, but it's one of the lineups from The Division when people couldn't access the laptop.
Oh yeah.
And they all got into a physical queue. Thank you. That's actually the one I was looking for. Those guys actually even had a more stricter line. I'm sorry, I had to point that out.
No, it's cool. So yeah. I don't know. So I guess we're on the same page. Yeah. So if they pull it off, they pull it off. I think maybe the whole console MMO thing just maybe hasn't been done right.
Oh, snap! Blood's back.
Is he really?
Yeah. He's iDrift, right?
Yeah.
He was. Yeah. He says Frankie and I put a ton of hours onto Mass Effect 3 co-op.
Yes,
and I remember that because I'd be over his house and you guys would be playing that, and it's just it's the 30th time we played this.
It was great. I mean, Mass Effect 3 co-op, I feel like was very much either you loved it or you hated it.
I know a lot of people. I got tired of it very quickly.
I did. I enjoyed the hell out of it.
It was very competitive, which I loved.
And
it was really hard.
They really kept up on the content with that too.
But
they really kept on updating.
I think it came down again who you were playing with, honestly. But let's power through a couple stories here because we got some smaller ones.
All right, let's do it.
Far Cry Primal has been released. It's been getting mixed reviews. I got my chance to play it. Super disappointed, watered down campaign. Just there was no point. But I'll give it this: crafting is just reached a whole other level for a Far Cry game, which is great. What I love about Far Cry is that they just went Far Cry 3, Far Cry 4. They went Blood Dragon and then Primal. Far Cry is not afraid to just totally abandon what has made them successful and try new things, which I always appreciate about Far Cry. If you were to actually go, what makes a Far Cry game? It's tricky that answer because it's such a unique experience.
It's good to mix it up.
Exactly.
You never know when you're going to set a trend.
It was very unique. I mean, again, the crafting system was great. They had a bunch of different weapons, like clubs on fire and arrows on fire, everything pretty much on fire. And the only thing that really confused me is that you were actually able to complete the story missions out of order. So you basically, it broke down to defeating other tribes and stuff separated around, and they all kind of basically a friend who played it basically completed one of the campaigns, the main last mission, and then went and was like, oh, okay, and he completed another mission that was supposed to be completed before that, and it just got very confusing. So it was a very interesting decision. Next up, this is a big rumor. Battlefield 5 is rumored.
I was going to say this.
Oh God!
I was going to say this.
Really,
I thought of you
really
actually.
Hope this is true.
Yep.
I know.
I thought of you.
I really hope.
When
this
I
is
heard
true.
this, actually fits exactly what I was saying. If you change the time period, you might.
Yes.
So
Irash. Basically it was single player arc. Far Cry Primal. That's funny. When Far Cry Primal was announced, I was like, do we need this? Arc is basically this times 10.
Yeah.
You can ride dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And they actually just got a bunch of new updates.
And
for
shoot
Arc.
guns.
And shoot guns, yeah. But so Battlefield 5, please be true, is being rumored to be set during World War I, which would be amazing.
Yeah.
And I've since listened to a couple podcasts and videos, people explaining their concerns about it, and I think it'd be fantastic. Just trench warfare in general could be fantastic. And World War I was such a heavy use of gas-based weaponry.
Sarin gas, right? Was it
Exactly.
sarin gas?
Mustard gas, sarin gas. I believe tear gas was
I think
introduced.
coffee enemas were actually introduced in World War I. I believe nurses did coffee enemas.
It was like maybe
Because they're detoxifying the liver.
But
so.
it's such a unique battle where it was like basically like the strategy was to send waves of your soldiers across a no man's land, expecting them to get mowed down so that they could build a wall of bodies. So that, like, it's just how they will tackle this would be so unique.
And there was dogfighting in World War I too.
Exactly,
as well.
there was an epic amount of dogfighting. So this is prime for a battlefield game. There's vehicles. They had very simple tanks as well. Very unique tanks. Tanks that had no back. It was like a big front iron wall.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
there's just so much unique. World War I was interesting in that it was a time where all these advanced weapons and technology were like just getting off the ground. Like the M1 Garand had just been invented, like the first like semi-automatic rifle. I believe the Thompson, which became like the biggest gun used by the American Allies in World War II, was just being tested out. Dogfighting was just being introduced. They didn't have missiles, they had bombs. They had just like that one guy in the back with a chain gun. Like, it's such a unique opportunity here, and I feel like visiting these different campaigns of war is just something that really needs to be done. Like, we've had our World War II era. I feel like World War I is just untouched. Vietnam as well. I say that every time, but Vietnam is another one that's just.
There's definitely.
They are great. Black Ops touched Vietnam an excellent amount. Black Ops is one of my favorite Call of Duty games because of that. Because of the story, actually, is one of the best stories in a Call of Duty game. But you had a significant amount of levels in Vietnam, and shocking, those were the best parts of the game. And there was obviously Shell Shock that came out for the original Xbox, which was like just. That was a Vietnam game, just like dirty, gritty. It even had like film grain over it, like just depressing storyline. So I really hope it's set in World War I, like how they will tackle that unique style of combat. Just what if they made it like Band of Brothers style, where it's just like it was the first Battlefield game where like the campaign came first, and like you just got attached to this close-knit group of soldiers that just slowly got picked off throughout the campaign, and just depressing, wet trench warfare.
It's just going to be interesting for me to see that in this gen's hardware.
Yeah,
like
it's
just
gonna
the
look
way it's going to
gorgeous.
look. It's going to look very interesting to me because it's almost like you associate these older wars with older console generations in a way. We're in the newer gen consoles. You know, we started gearing more towards advanced warfare.
Has there been a World War II
and sci-fi
yet?
stuff.
For this generation?
There was World at War last generation, which was World War II.
No, for this generation.
For this generation, no, I
Has there been one?
don't believe so. I don't believe
When
so.
do you think this cycle will start back up for World
So,
War II?
yeah, right.
Because it's coming.
Isn't that weird?
There's a reason why. It's one of the most interesting
Dude,
wars ever.
Call of Duty 2 remastered. Could you imagine
Oh
that?
my God, dude!
The
That game
best
was-
Call of Duty ever. Call of Duty
Oh,
2.
dude, they had Call of Duty Remastered, man. Holy crap. They had Call of Duty Remastered, and they were going to throw a D-Day scene in. It's like, yay! Not the D-Day you're thinking of. You're going to scale a wall. And I remember that being the first thing I saw from Call of Duty 2, and I was like, first game picking up right there.
Yeah.
Just that D-Day scene, because I remember Medal of Honor.
It was the smoke effects that really dragged me
Oh,
in.
dude, that was one of the
Smoke-
best.
Incredible.
Absolutely.
Now they look like crap, but like they were
Battlefield
incredible.
3 Vietnam DLC was great. I never played that. Bad Company 2 Vietnam was also incredible. Yeah, I did play that. I love Bad Company. Speaking of Battlefield games with great campaigns and stories, that is one of the funniest video game campaigns.
Yeah, and I think out of the last World War I game, if I'm not mistaken, was actually I think it was an Xbox Live Arcade game back on 360. And it was with planes. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, no, I'm thinking something different. I thought it was Battlefield 1943.
Yes.
Was it?
Yes.
Oh, I love Battlefield 1943.
That was World War I, right?
No, that was World War II.
Oh, shoot.
It was an Xbox Live Arcade. It was a remake of Battlefield 1942, like
Okay.
the original Battlefield
all right,
game.
whatever.
Just it was one of the best.
Okay, yeah, so it's been a while.
Oh, it's such a great game.
Been a while.
But yeah, Vietnam, World War I, visiting these venues is like
Yeah.
just super, like I really hope they do that. It's
Yeah.
just so exciting. Battling through here, double bad news, I guess. Fables Legend has been officially canceled. The upcoming Fables game. Hold on.
Who cares,
I'm not done
right?
yet.
Who
I'm not
cares?
done
Who
yet.
gives a crap?
I'm not done yet. Not only that, but the studio that developed it, Lionhead Studios, is closing.
Who cares? Yeah,
I
it
like the
doesn't
first
matter.
Fable.
They haven't made anything. They haven't
You don't like
contributed to
Jonathan
anything.
Blow?
Dude, they haven't made anything since Fable 1. Fable 1 was the best Fable, and it was just crap after that.
Why did we never get a Fable did we ever get a Fable remaster?
Yeah, we got Fable Anniversary.
We did Fable Anniversary.
I never played
that.
Yeah, I would like to play it.
Yeah. Oh, we played Fable 2 together because we had the Master Chief.
Oh yeah, no, Fable 2 was one of the biggest disappointments of my life.
Well, I mean, there was no penalty for dying, or there was.
Oh yeah,
but
there was no penalty. It didn't run too well, and Fable 3 had a Fable 3 had a game-breaking glitch that actually kept me from progressing in the game. Yeah. And the funny part was, I was actually liking Fable 3. All right, I was liking Fable 3 10 hours in, and I'm like, wow, I'm actually enjoying this Fable game after the disappointment that was Fable 2. And then that glitch comes in, I'm like, sorry.
I know, I remember
There's no coming back from this. Gee, I wish Lionhead Studios would get shut down after this, and I get my wish like 4 years later. So I have no sympathy for you. I'm sorry, none. If you do that, maybe play 10 hours of my life just to frickin' throw it all away. All right, sorry. No, I was enjoying the game. It was, I don't know. It was a cool concept.
It was a cool concept. You know what? It's 7:45. We haven't taken a commercial break yet.
Oh,
so
shoot.
Let's take a super quick break. The only one of the night, apparently. And when we come back, we got a few more things to wrap up the show. But don't go anywhere because we got more things to talk about. We're wrapping it up. Save and continue. Thank you so much for watching. Stay with us.
Hey, this is Chris West Jake, and if Inravio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
This is Joe Larson. You should check out the 505 on Racing Show live every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or catch us on video on demand anytime, 24/7, only on the Inravio TV network.
Village Music Shop of Mastic. 1-800-HEY-DUDE, your full-service store with personalized attention, school band instrument rentals and sales, music instruction on all instruments for all styles and age groups, for guitars, drums, amplifiers, PA systems, and accessories. It's Village Music Shop, 1495 Montauk Highway in Mastic. Call 1-800-HEY-DUDE or go to villagemusicshop.com. For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit HansonCarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered.
So perfect for that show too. Like he's like, I got Lyme's disease, I help teach kids, and I'm like, oh man, you were just like the perfect sob story.
I know.
Go watch The Voice. Our friend Ryan Quinn was on it, and he's excellent. I was in front of the TV. I was like, oh my God, Ryan!
I know.
It's so good.
It was like when you were on David Letterman. Kyle was on David Letterman once.
Years ago. Not years ago.
A year ago.
What's funny was Ryan Quinn blew me up when that happened, because he knows I hate the attention. So I did the exact same thing to him on The Voice. I was like, all caps, great job, bro! You're so good. I'll have your babies. Anyway, save and continue. We're here. It's 7:48 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are wrapping up the show. A few more things to talk about. There is some new Fallout, not Fallout 4. Not Fallout 4 mod. This is a mod I wanted to bring up. This is actually a testament to how much better this game is than Fallout 4. New mod for Fallout New Vegas, which adds space, snow, and tanks.
Why is New Vegas better than Fallout 4?
Because the mods are better.
Oh.
And because the game is better. It's like a less watered down.
Have you played Fallout 4?
I got my hands on it. I haven't played nearly as much as you probably.
You have to play nearly as much as me.
Dude, New Vegas was perfect. Anyway, Fallout Frontier is a fan-made mod that adds new weather elements such as snow, new weapons, new quests, new enemies, and a point in the campaign where your character actually travels to a space station where gravity actually affects your character, which is altered, which is very interesting. So apparently in the campaign you go to space, into a space station where you fight tanks and all that such. Tanks, World War II tanks? No. Irish, thank you for watching, man, and staying up so late watching from the UK. We have such good British fans. Yeah, so it's a really cool mod. And then I guess the biggest thing, we'll wrap it up today with that because I'm sure it's going to take 10 minutes to talk about it, was the Civil War trailer. Number 2 was released today. Was it today or was it yesterday?
I saw it today.
I think it was today because the YouTube video saw it. I think it was today. So, better because it was made by Obsidian Entertainment. That's another reason why it was great, yeah. Anyway, Civil War trailer was released basically. Basically, if you haven't seen the trailer, this is a good, I mean, there's no spoilers because it's a trailer, but I recommend you go watch it rather than have us talk about it first because there's some truly jaw-dropping moments. But basically, yeah, this is your opportunity. If you haven't seen the trailer, go watch it and then come back. Okay, you've been warned. So basically, there was a couple of huge moments in it. I feel like my favorite moment isn't going to be what everyone is expecting to be the favorite moment. But basically, a lot of stuff has happened. Spider-Man was revealed at the end. I think that's the first thing we should talk about because he's got a very interesting costume that has been getting... Irish as the Spider-Man clip at the end of the trailer pissed my pants. It was amazing. You look concerned. Lay on me, bro. I can shed some light. There's some backstory to this.
I had no issue with the costume because I know that's the first thing that probably people would think.
I think that's what everyone.
I liked the costume. I liked how the eyes moved.
Yes.
It looked super comic book and cartoonish, and I actually have no issue with that whatsoever.
It goes back to the comics and the cartoons.
Right.
Where Peter Parker is a genius.
Yeah, and he's a kid.
Invented things.
And he's a kid.
Yes.
But the only thing that kind of threw me off, and maybe I just need to get used to it, but his voice. I know he's a little kid.
Oh, I loved it. That was my favorite part. That's so funny. That's so funny.
Do you know what this trailer reminded me of? It was a great trailer, but when he spoke at the very end, First of all, it reminded me of Deadpool because it's just how out of tone it felt from the rest of the trailer. Like it just felt like it was almost like edited.
Interesting.
And second, what was that? Oh, whatever.
It's almost like it was edited.
No, it just seemed like it was out of place. But and second, it was now it completely threw me off.
Sorry.
It felt like it was like a dub, like somebody like just tweaked with this professional trailer, and they just threw in like this kid's voice as a joke at the end.
The rumor
it sounded like a joke to me, but
apparently that shot's gonna look different in the movie. The rumor was that was
they did it just for the trailer.
They did it for the trailer because they didn't want people seeing.
Yeah, because the line. What does Spider-Man say? He says,
"Hey everyone."
Hey everyone, like
that is
it was so. It seemed like it was for the trailer.
I love how you brought that up.
But it was so out of point.
I love how you brought that up because that was arguably the most goosebump-inducing moment for me was his voice. Because you have to understand something with this is that we're going back to young Peter Parker and the fact that the way he
How young? What is he, 14?
I think he's like 14 or something like that. But basically, you know what? I've never done. This is like the acting coming out of me, I guess. But just the way he did it is just. It was so representative of what his character is going to be. The fact that it sounded so dubbed. It sounded like the exact opposite of a superhero voice. It actually sounded like some kid just threw in a costume and was like, "Hey, I'm Spider-Man." And that's the point.
That's exactly what it felt like.
That's the point. That is why I'm so excited.
And that's okay, I guess. It just threw me off. But I know I'll probably not have a problem with it.
I think your opinion is going to make a complete 180-degree change during the film, and you see his character enacted. First off, James Gunn, who directed Guardians of the Galaxy, one of my favorite directors, saw the movie pre-special effects recently and said that Tom Holland, who plays Spider-Man, is the best Spider-Man ever put to a film screen.
Good, because
James Gunn knows his stuff. But that's not the reason why I'm in love with it. It's just the way he did that tone. Like, again, I knew Rash just kind of said it. Totally out of tone, but the charm of Spider-Man is what he thinks. And that's exactly what it was. The fact that he's a brand new superhero. He's not a Tony Stark. He's not Captain America. He's not going to have that deep bravado of, like, time to save the world. He's a fresh-faced superhero who's 14 years old and gets wrapped up into this giant Civil War battle day one. Like, the fact that he spoke in that tone is just... He's a phenomenal actor. I've seen him in other things, and it's just, it's funny that you brought that up as a concern, because that was arguably the most like, oh, I had goosebumps.
I've seen the trailer like 2 or 3 times, and like both times I'm like, oh my God, like, I don't know how I feel about this.
It's so funny that you bring that up. It really is.
Yeah, no, I probably won't have an issue with it. It's just, it was jarring to me, you know, complete whiplash.
What he said, hey everyone, the way he said it was just so innocent and so unassuming, and it's just like, I feel like it felt like a kid had walked up accidentally with Captain America's shield and was just like, hey everyone, I found this, like, and it was done so well.
Do they plan on making a standalone series with him too?
Absolutely. Tom Holland is the new Spider-Man.
So this is the first exposure we have.
This is the first exposure to Spider-Man. The rumor is that you'll be introduced to Spider-Man's character earlier in the film, and you'll be like kind of experiencing what Spider-Man was doing when New York City was attacked in the first Avengers.
It's really funny to me because Spider-Man, to me, I know he's a Marvel character.
Yes.
But he feels like he's in a different universe than the other Marvel characters.
It's because for years Sony has owned him and they were not allowed to touch it.
Absolutely.
You get the same experience if X-Men showed up in a Marvel movie. You'd be like, what the hell is this? Technically Star Wars is in the Marvel universe. Technically they all exist in one thing. Can you get the rights to that?
I don't know about that.
No, technicalities, dude. Go check
They're
that.
not in the same universe.
Long time ago.
They're under the same creative license.
Dude, if you
or
think that's the weirdest thing in comics, you got another thing coming. Because there's like the main thing right now in modern day comics is Earth 2, like alternate reality.
They can never cross Marvel and Disney.
They're not going to.
Unless
That's
they
my
do some
point.
Kingdom Hearts
That is my point.
stuff.
They're not going to do that. But technically, if you put away Sony and Marvel and Disney and all that crap, they exist in the same universe under the Marvel roof.
I think your definition of universe is completely different from mine right now.
If you Google, just go and Google it. That's all I'm saying.
What, Google Universe?
Google is Star Wars exists in the Marvel Universe, and just read it. That's all I'm asking, and then form your own opinion. But I think you'll be surprised at what you read. Give me the look after you read it. Don't act all skeptical till you read it.
What does Eric think?
Eric, what do you think? No comment.
No comment.
Please stay out of it.
I'm no comment
Don't
too.
call me wrong until you read it. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
That scene is equivalent to Snake saying "kept you waiting." I don't get that.
Huh?
I don't know. Something in the comment.
What did he say?
That scene is the equivalent of Snake saying "kept you waiting."
Kept you waiting, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, no, you see.
No, it was also Kojima had a similar line in a trailer he was actually in for Metal Gear Solid. I know what he's saying. I know exactly. You're on point with that. It's totally the same delivery, the same it just topped off the trailer. So it's basically Snake saying that, and it was very much like Spider-Man being in the trailer.
Again, I don't know the scene that you're referring to, but again, it's funny that you bring that up. The differences in that.
It looks like
it hit it on a point that was just like he could not have portrayed Spider-Man better in that amount of time.
In that amount of time.
In that amount, with the 2 words, literally one scene, there could not have been a better way to express this Spider-Man.
What that comment means, what he meant by that, or she, was that Snake, when he said that in the Metal Gear, I believe it was Metal Gear Solid 5, kept you waiting, huh? It was almost like it was directly to the viewer. I got the same vibe from Spider-Man in this. He was almost saying like, "Hey guys," or whatever.
That's probably
directly to the viewer.
I did not for a second think we were going to get Spider-Man in the trailer.
No.
That shocked the hell out of me.
It was kind of cool though.
It was great. I'm glad we saw him.
I didn't know what side he was going to be on.
Would that even be bad though? Even if it was like a nod to the audience of like, even if he didn't look at the camera, but kind of just like looked at the camera and went, "Hey everyone." Like, would that have been bad?
No. He basically did that. He basically did that.
I think he did it in a way that it's like out of context, it still would have worked in the film, but also as like a double entendre, it also could work as that he's nodding to the audience as well as physically, literally saying hello to the superhero.
I'm just wondering why he's on Tony's side. That's the interesting part to me.
Well, Tony in the comics develops his Spidey suit. If you take a closer look at that suit, it's all technologically advanced. In the comics, technically, Tony Stark admits that Peter Parker, if it weren't for the fact that he was a superhero and could dedicate his time to science and technology, is actually way smarter than Tony Stark. He actually says in the comics, if he had the same resources that Tony had, he could have made the world a better place. But because he has superpowers, and because of what Uncle Ben said to him about great responsibility, or I'm sorry, with great power comes great responsibility, he feels obligated to protect the world as a superhero rather than save it by being a scientist. So in technically, everyone's kind of assuming it's going to follow the comics in that sense, where Tony Stark is going to basically take what technology Spider-Man has been using and build him that suit that he's wearing there. And in the comics, spoilers, again, I don't know if this is going to be technically true because they're not following the comics to a T, Spider-Man starts off on Tony Stark's side and switches to Captain America's halfway through.
I can see that happening.
Yeah, and that's the most understanding stuff. The stuff that happens after is the Secret Wars, where all the superheroes are put together on an alien planet and forced to fight each other. And then Spider-Man kills an X-Man, and that's when comics get like comic booky, where you're just like, what's happening? And it's like, that wasn't Spider-Man, that's Spider-Man from Earth K27.
Yeah, I think it's the coolest, because what this trailer made me want to do, made me want to see the Winter Soldier again, because I really liked Bucky as, oh man, what the hell's his name? What's his...
Bucky Barnes? Or
Bucky Barnes, yeah, what's his...
Sebastian something.
What was his superhero
That's his
name?
actor. Oh, no, the Winter Soldier.
It was the Winter Soldier,
That's
yeah.
his name?
I liked him a
If you were
lot, and
looking for it,
I think
yeah.
he's going to be incredible in this.
He plays a huge part in this movie.
Yeah,
supposedly.
oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, again, I like the person that pisses me off most in the trailers is Captain America. Funny enough, because he's just like, yeah, because he's just like, I have to save my friend Bucky, and it's like, Cap, he killed like 30,000 people in the movie before this. Like, we can't just let him go, and it's like, but he's my friend, and it's like, Cap, he killed so many people.
But we know what happened to Bucky. He was pretty much brainwashed.
Sure, but in the real world,
yeah, I
you go to prison. Man.
I'm personally on the side of Captain America. If I was, and this is cool, let's do this.
It's funny because before you say anything, they kind of switched it. Tony appears as the good guys more or less so far as they've been advertising. Where in the comics he comes off as a massive dick.
Well,
like,
he seems like he's a dick in this too.
But what he says makes sense. That's what's so tricky.
Well, see, I like. You know, Captain America stands for freedom. He stands for, you know, just the American way, the true American way. And I'm very anti-government, so really, me being anti-Tony Stark is me being anti-government.
I feel like that's black and white.
Tony, no, because Tony Stark, he's basically complying to the government's
he's not so much complying.
Idea.
He's agreeing that superheroes have they need to be regulated.
No, yeah, but Tony is doing it out of fear. Instead of doing it out of making it's the right decision. I think Tony's doing it out of fear because
Drift, I can't say that. That's a huge spoiler. You son of a.
What is it?
No, he posted something that technically isn't true, but it happens in the comics, and everyone's kind of.
Oh, I want to read it.
Why would you post that? Dude!
I can't see it yet. I can't see it.
Dude!
But yeah, I think
I hope that's what happens.
I think Tony, if there's any indication of Tony's mental state and also Tony's.
Oh, that absolutely plays a factor. I 100% agree.
Tony's ability, his susceptibility to fear, because fear to me is.
Because in Age of Ultron, he gets mind blew by the Scarlet Witch, and he has all those like scenes about all the superheroes
What happened?
dying and
Yeah,
stuff,
and what happened in Avengers when he went? Yes. So I also believe that's a huge part of his decision to be afraid.
I'm not saying that based on like ends justify the means. It's more or less like I get what you're saying. Is it the right reason for believing that? That's what I love about this movie.
Well, I'm on
is that
side.
you can find.
Team Captain.
I'm hoping. No, you see,
Team Jacob.
That's the exact opposite I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for that we go into the movie and it's not so simple. Like no one's.
Oh, it's going to be a gray area.
Like that, someone's going to be like Team Tony Stark, and someone across the theater is going to go Tony Stark, Captain America, and like a fight's going to break out. Like no, I want people to be sitting through the whole. Yeah, of course it's going to happen. Yeah. I want people to be sitting in the theater just going like literally their hands in their head of like God, who do I back right now? Like who do I want to win? Like I want to have that struggle very badly. I'm hoping that's the case. I'm hoping throughout the entire movie, I'm just constantly switching sides.
When does it come out?
I don't know, Eric. When does this come out? He doesn't remember. You are useless.
Next Tuesday. Thursday.
I'm just gonna lie?
Yeah.
No, why not? Next Tuesday.
No, Tuesday's music releases.
I'm really hoping. Yes, the movies don't follow the comic 100% drift. You're 100% correct. But like based off the trailer, it kind of seems like it's heading in that direction, and based on what everyone's saying.
Were they in an airport? Like, let's just run at each other for no reason in an airport. Just
spoilers. Everyone dies.
Yeah.
Actually, apparently that scene is actually like apparently in the beginning of the movie. Like that's one of the.
It's kind of weird.
The airport scene is
that they all happen to be
what
there.
I think is what's going to happen is it's going to start off with all these superheroes on each side, and slowly but surely the numbers are just going to do. People are going to back out. Like we can't keep doing this. Like we can't keep fighting each other because you see all these superheroes, and you see the end scene where it's just Captain America and Iron Man and Bucky, and you're just like, I can imagine all these superheroes just getting into these intense situations. Like after the airport scene, you see War Machine. Like, is he dead? Probably not, because they showed him like that 3 times. But like I can see people seeing that moment and being like, no, I can't do this to my friends. And slowly but surely, the only people left still fighting this conflict are Captain America and Tony Stark, because they're the ones that just have the most invested.
And it was cool
we
seeing.
We gotta wrap up too, also.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It was cool seeing Ant-Man in it. Like I need to see Ant-Man.
Oh,
still.
thank you, Drift. May 6th, 2016 is when it comes out. And you haven't seen it? Have you seen Ant-Man? Oh, it's excellent.
Yeah, I'll see it. I'll see it for this movie.
It's a heist movie that has a superhero.
Right, right. You said that.
It's such a unique. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. We'll be back next Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live at Inravio.com/live in the gaming channel or Twitch.tv/Chainsaw Academy. Be sure you're following at Inravio on Twitter or at Chainsaw Academy, subscribing or following us here at Twitch.tv/Chainsaw Academy. We're streaming constantly throughout the week, PC, PS4, all that fun stuff. So take a look. But next time we'll be back 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with more gaming and tech goodness.
I lied. Yes.
Go see the trailer. Go play Far Cry Primal for a little bit because it's really good.
Enjoy the Fallout patch.
Good luck with the Division. I don't know. Have fun with the
Line
Minecraft
Simulator.
update. And let's pray for Battlefield 5 and World War I. Huh? Let's just take a moment and hope that happens. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. We'll see you next week. And it was a great show. Thank you, Urash. Thank you for the follow. We'll see you next time.
Hi,
buddy.
Blood.
Hi, Blood.